Latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing weather report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Well, good Tuesday morning. Taylor Platt here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a look at your latest forecasts. Few areas of clouds are possible on your Tuesday morning. Most places will be dry. Clouds will start to increase throughout the day on your Tuesday. We're still dry, though. All the rain won't be coming in until late this evening. Temperatures on your Tuesday afternoon getting up into the middle and maybe even upper 70s. By the time we get into the late evening hours, I think we'll start to see a chance at a few showers. But here comes that rain that will be moving through during the day on Wednesday. Temperatures will be struggling to get into the upper 60s as we get into the day on Wednesday. 7-day forecast looks like this. Widespread rain and storms expected on Wednesday. Some lucky places might end up getting into the lower 70s. More showers and storms expected Thursday and Friday, and then drier weather should be coming in over the weekend and into early next week.
Good morning, Stefanie.
Good morning. Hi, kids. Hot tea. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us. It is our Tennessee Traveler Tuesday, but before we get to what we're highlighting with Tom Adkinson today, I want to give you a look at the committed runners who turned out for a wonderful 8K that happened in Clarksville. It was the Clarksville Greenway 8K run. Here's a look at it. It was pouring down rain, but they turned out in full force. I'm told there were 341 people register, and the morning of the run, when it was pouring down rain, 3 people decided to register that morning to participate in this. Kim Gilbert with Clarksville Parks and Recreation tells me that this year was a successful Greenway 8K, but there's a lot to look forward to next year because they're adding a ruck division for those who are interested. Way to go to all of those who turned out for the Clarksville Greenway 8K this year. Now on to this morning, somewhere you can go where you can maybe take one of 20 hikes. Honestly, you have your choice of beginner hikes or the more challenging ones. And you also have the opportunity to learn how reconstruction efforts are maintained. This and more is coming up as we talk about the Trails Forever hikes in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We'll be talking with our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson. But first this morning, let's get a check of our headlines. Deputy Sergeant Randy Marisette, a 16-year veteran with the Murray County Sheriff's Department, faces charges of felony evasion of arrest along with driving under the influence and reckless driving. Marisette was stopped by a Columbia police officer after reports of a potential drunk driver. During the stop, the arresting police officer reportedly noticed that his truck window, that he was slurring his speech and smelled strongly of alcohol. The deputy allegedly fled, passing cars on the double yellow lines through the residential corridor and ignoring the pursuing police cars' lights and sirens. South Central Human Resources Agency is issuing a warning about scammers contacting people under the promise of grant funds. The scam involves community service block grants. The scam artists are posing as SCHRA employees and attempting to lure the victims into providing their personal information and access to bank accounts. People have been contacted via Facebook, by phone, or email. SCHRA points out that the agency never asks for money in exchange for services, so be aware. Mount Juliet native Barry Butch Wilmore will be honored at an event at the city's Charlie Daniels Park on Saturday, June 28th, Saturday, June 28th. Mark your calendar. Wilmore returned from the International Space Station in March after 286 days in space, about 280 days more than planned. The city is also honoring Wilmore with 2 signs, renaming a portion of North Mount Juliet Road as Barry Wilmore Way. Stick with us for the end of the show. We're going to do a rundown of your farmers markets opening up this week.
Let us connect you with a team that you'll be bedazzled by when you connect with Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Let's meet the team. This is Charles Calvert, known as One Take. He's the plumbing service manager. Here we have Matt Cook. He's known as Big Country. He's the HVAC service manager.
Hey, hey! Visit Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning for all your needs.
Get ready, race fans. NASCAR is back in Music City with a new name, the Cracker Barrel 400. Guitars, fast cars, and the comfort of Cracker Barrel's country hospitality. May 30th through June 1st. The action kicks off Friday night at Nashville Super Speedway with the Rackley Roofing 200. Then the Tennessee Lottery 250 on Saturday. And Sunday night, NASCAR's top stars under the lights in the Cracker Barrel 400. Get your tickets now at NashvilleSuperspeedway.com.
Welcome back. How would you like to experience this right here in the Great Smoky Mountains, enjoying the beautiful outdoors? Did you know that the National Park Service has help keeping our parks pristine and beautiful? This is done through the Friends of Great Smoky Mountains. To tell us more, we have Tom Adkinson, our Tennessee traveler, with us today to share more. I love the hat. I love it. I love it.
It goes along with today's story about hiking.
Yes, and that is exactly what you'll need when taking one of these beautiful hikes.
Yes.
So
Great
do
Smoky
share.
Mountains National Park is obviously one of America's treasures.
Yes.
There are 800 miles of trails in the park. There are some people who are dedicated enough to hike all 800 of them, and they deserve all the accolades they get. But for most people, we're going to hike individual trails or rack up a few miles hither and yon in the park. And for a lot of people, the park is so big and has so much to offer, it's kind of hard to figure out it can be hard to figure out where to start. Mm-hmm. And Friends of the Smokies, which is the support group from the private sector that helps the National Park Service, has a program called Trails Forever. And Trails Forever has a hiking program with hikes scheduled in various trails all around the park from March through November of every year.
So now a trail like this, is this something we should do on our own, or should we go through this program to go along with the Friends?
All of the trails that are used on this program are regular national park trails. Okay. They're marked, they're identified, they're on maps. So indeed, they're accessible all the time. By the way, you shouldn't hike alone at any time. You should have a friend to enjoy it, but you also need to take the precautions of telling people where you're going, letting all that knowledge be out there. So indeed, if something untoward does happen, somebody is going to miss you when you don't return. But the trails used in the Trails Forever program are there for everyone all the time. The benefit of this program is you're going out with people who enjoy being there. You're going with a dedicated volunteer who is leading the group. And it's a packaged program, so to speak. And especially for people who aren't used to hiking a lot, or indeed don't know this territory well, it's a great way to get introduced. Indeed, some of the hikes in this program are for experienced hikers. They're longer, they may be more strenuous, and there are others that are more for beginners. So on the calendar of Trails Forever hikes, you look through and see what interests you on the level of difficulty and the location in the park. park's just huge. It's 500,000 acres. And of course, it's split between Tennessee and North Carolina. And there are just so many ways to enjoy the park. This is a cool way to get into it. And there's another real benefit. It helps support a trail maintenance system.
When we're supporting this, and when you talk about trail maintenance, what do you mean? Just so people understand how the parks are maintained and what people are helping with.
Okay. Trails Forever funds a permanent, full-time trail repair and rehabilitation crew. They're private sector. And indeed, it's above and beyond what the budget for the national park provides. So this is a way that the outside group, Friends of the Smokies, can do something really, really tangible. Trail maintenance is difficult, and certainly priorities are set over what's needed year to year. The intriguing thing about trail work in the Smokies is that it's hand labor. There aren't machines going in there. There aren't bulldozers. There aren't vehicles taking equipment or materials in. This is all done by hand. And indeed, it's like all the way back to the days of the Civilian Conservation Corps. That's how these trails were built in the first place. And so indeed, the Trails Forever program is a modern day continuation of that tradition, but it's a way that we can have fun ourselves on a Trails Forever hike and feel a little bit good about the very modest $25 cost of taking one of these hikes.
I think it just makes you feel good knowing that you're helping with preserving this out there. And talk about some of what we can see. One of your pictures, we see a black bear.
Yeah, I've seen bears many times when I'm in the park. It's a thrill. They're not looking to be seen. Let's put it that way. And there are absolute protocols for what to do. The humans are in their territory. So indeed, you might see a bear, you might see a deer, you might see some wild turkey. The trails are all over the place, from high country with huge views to trails that are along stream beds, like on Middle Prong over near Townsend. The park is so big. There's so many variations on what you can see that I really tend to think that no two hikes are exactly alike.
They're not. Do you have a favorite one?
Oh my goodness. That's pretty difficult. Some of the ones I don't get to often enough are over on the North Carolina side, in the Cataloochee Valley. And then there are some that are on the far side of Fontana Lake. You have to take a pontoon boat over to get to them on a couple of creeks, a couple of valleys that have creeks in them. And by the way, when I go over there, I'm really not going to hike. I'm going to fish.
I'm glad you let that be known. I'm not a fisher. I'm a hiker. I have to say, one of my favorites, Mount LeConte.
Absolutely. There are multiple trails going up to LeConte Lodge. Spectacular view up there. And if you play your cards right and you get the reservation, you can stay overnight in kind of Spartan conditions, but that's an experience.
I have to share with people, though, if you plan on doing this hike, it is a long one, and be sure you're watching the weather. My husband and I did this, and it was foggy. So we get to the very top, and it's nothing but fog. A little disappointing, but it was still a really neat, cool atmosphere. I have to say, going down, the decline was worse than the incline.
It can be a challenge on different sets of muscles.
Yes, it can. Anything else that we need to know about the Friends of the Park, or anything else when it comes to helping out?
No, I'll just get in a pitch. Go to friendsofthesmokies.org look up these hikes if you want, but see what good things that the Friends organization is doing and chip some money in, make a donation, do a good thing. And if you have a park that's closer to you that you really like, very likely it has a Friends organization to help them.
Yes, like here in Clarksville, we have Friends of Dunbar Cave. So I'm going to second what Tom just said. I encourage you to check out your area and to see how you can help. Tom, thank you always for telling us, sharing with us where we can travel.
Absolutely. Y'all keep traveling and
We'll do it.
Keep hiking.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. Who's ready? Because it's time. It's time for the farmers markets to start up once again. You can make your way around Middle Tennessee to find and enjoy homegrown produce, handcrafted items, fresh flowers, and so much more. So let's give a rundown. Gallatin's Farmers Market, well, that is open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The market is located across from the Gallatin Fire Department. The Rutherford County Farmers Market, that opens up on May 9th this week at the Community Center at the Lane Agri Park in Murfreesboro. The market operates there from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and on Fridays. Now on Saturday, May 10th, you can head out to Clarksville's Downtown Market, voted the #1 farmers market in Tennessee through the American Farmland Trust 2023 Market Celebration. This market is open again on Saturdays from 8 to noon. And it is opening day on Saturday for the Ashland City Farmers and Artisans Market. Visit River Bluff Park from 9 to 12 p.m. Then on in Robertson County, the Robertson County Farmers Market, that also opens up on Saturday at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. Be sure to visit from 8 in the morning until noon. The Columbia Farmers Market is open year-round. If you did not know that, it is open on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 in the morning until noon. However, the market's website does say that many vendors are only present during the main season, and that runs from this month through October, with Saturday being that primary day for vendors. And you can find that market at the Riverwalk Park Pavilion. That is at 102 Riverside Drive in Columbia. And then from 8 in the morning until noon, you can visit the Laverne Farmers Market. The market is open up every Saturday from now through September. Moving on to Rutherford County to Murfreesboro, the Murfreesboro Saturday Market that is open from this month through October around the historic Rutherford County Courthouse. You can find what you're looking for, no doubt, from 8 a.m. until 12. And then on May 17th, so a little bit later, on May 17th, the Smyrna Depot Farmers Market is scheduled to open up at the historic train depot on Front Street in Smyrna. And then the Franklin Farmers Market is now open on Saturdays behind the factory. That one runs from 9 until noon. It is a packed house. I've been to that one. It is always, the parking lot is full back there. If you're visiting Spring Hill, visit the Hidden Gem Farmers Market on Saturdays from 11 until 2 p.m. And then in Mount Juliet, you have the Mount Juliet Farmers Market there. They're open every Saturday from 7 in the morning until 1 p.m. You can find that at Charlie Daniels Park. We're not done yet. From Monday through Saturday, from March through December, you can make a trip to the Lebanon Farmers Market from 5 until dark, no later than 7:30 p.m. That's quite a few. And of course, you have some other farmers markets in Nashville. So many to visit this season to find all of that fresh produce. There's nothing better than using fresh produce. And I love the beautifully cut flowers that you can find from vendors at all of our farmers markets. If you have one that you would like for us to share, please email me at smiller@mainstreetmediatn.com. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow morning.